With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm. Play with me
Hello,
like
hello,
cats and
hello.
string.
Welcome to
You don't
Dear Dana.
understand the pain of
Finally!
pain. You don't ever
I
wanna
was
give me
not
wings.
able to get
You don't
into
ever
the
wanna set me
studio
free.
for the last 20 minutes.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll
Welcome,
get
welcome, welcome. Inhale to count 4. Hold it. Exhale to the count 4.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored again?
And if Brian is the one that helped me from
Then will you get bored
StreamYard,
again?
I want to thank you, Brian, because I
Then
couldn't
will
get
you
in.
get bored again?
Inhale to the count of
Then
4.
will you get bored again?
I need this. Exhale to the count of 4.
Then will you get bored again?
Uh,
But if I lay
go.
down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll
Now
get sick
to
of
the
being
count
the
of
monster
4.
out of
Hold
my
it.
head, under my bed. Think you're something out of
Exhale
my
to the count of 4.
nightmares. Sitting right there. But if I lay
Thank you
down
for
and I
coming to
play
Dear
dead
Dana.
and I
Today
stay
is
dead,
Saturday
then will you
night.
get bored of killing me?
Release all the
Pillow next to
stress.
you are like a taunt.
Shake it
Never
off.
really know just what you want.
Release it from
With
your
you I
neck,
don't
your
ever feel
shoulders, your back.
calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm.
Thank you for coming
Play with me
tonight.
like cats and a string.
Just let it
You
go.
don't understand the pain
Let
of
it all
pain.
go. That's what
You
I'm
don't
doing
ever
right
wanna
now because
give
I
me
was
wings. You
frustrated.
don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's
This
twisted
is
you've been gifted
Nefek,
with the evil voodoo.
if anybody
Got me
wants to
coming
know.
back for more, even when I've been
Very
screwed. Dolls
talented
full of
guy.
pins, pierce my heart straight through. I
Okay, I'm
got
just
issues
gonna
in
let
my
music
head. I
go.
like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh,
Welcome,
everything
welcome,
is like a
welcome to Dear
text. I
Dana.
better not text.
Thank you for coming tonight. Hello, Shelly Marie, Sister Winnie, April Showers. Thank you for coming tonight. Woo, last 20 something minutes, I've just been trying to get into the studio. Thank you, Stephen Cumbie. I appreciate that super sticker more than you know. I was like, I cannot get in. Help me. Somebody help me. Kept telling me there was an error. I was like, where's the error? StreamYard won't let me in. I was asking for assistance. I was telling him what it was. He goes, can you send me a screenshot? I was like, I don't know how to screenshot this and give it to you in the chat. Telling you what it's saying. It's not going to look any different when I give you a picture of it. But anyway, it finally worked. No worries, Willow. I just got here because I couldn't get in my own show. How is everybody doing on a Saturday night? Talking about communication. I was like, what word do you not understand that I am telling you? He literally wanted a picture of it. Talking about communication and relationships. Seriously, with other people and ourselves. I teach communication, believe it or not. Go, well, Dana, you're a psychotherapist. Why are you teaching communication? Because it's part of everything we do. Everything we do. And it comes in, it's not just about talking. Do you know about 85% or more of communication that we do is not talking? Is not talking. It's in the way we stand, the way we look. Sometimes it's in the way we breathe. You all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's just in the way we breathe. Whether we go, we all know that breath. Some of us women are good at that. And us mamas and kids. It's called that huff. You all know the sound of that huff, that breath. It's not even a word. It's a breath. It speaks a million words. right? It's just a huff. Hey, Shelly Marie. How many of you know what that huff is? What it could mean? It's not a word. And the look out of a person's eyes can mean everything from love, lust to severe anger. Just to look out of the eyes. And you don't have to say a word. Now, do you? You don't. Body language. One of the biggest ways of communication. You can walk in a building. High schoolers do all the time. You can be on like this. Thank you, Shelly Marie. I appreciate that. You can walk in a building all closed up, right? Like this. Not know the people. What do you think that would say to them? If you're all closed up, you are already speaking volumes to people. If you're encapsulated when you walk in a building. Hey, Arseny Peskov, if you're encapsulated when you walk in a room with people, thank you for that super chat, Miss Shelly Marie. I appreciate that so much. You are basically telling people, don't come too close to me. You're telling them either you're shy, don't come in my world, or maybe you're not so touchable, approachable. It sends off many messages. Maybe you're easy to take advantage of, things like that. You walk in a room, people don't know you, and your head's up, shoulders are kind of back. You're smiling at people. You're kind of checking things out around the room. That's a whole nother message. Hey, Mark Kropka Pirate Radio. Nice to see you. That sends a whole nother message. You're approachable. You see things around you. Everybody check out April Showers and check out Pirate Radio. That you see what's going on, and maybe people can engage in a conversation with you, and they can't take advantage of you. You see what I'm saying? Same person, two different ways of approaching an environment. And way number two, even if you aren't the most confident person in the world, you can fake it till you make it, baby. You can fake it till you make it. That's just the beginning. That's just simple body language. Yeah, RC says, I call it my observer mode. And that's a good way to be. Look, I love, if I get the opportunity, sitting on a bench, quietly observing the environment, people around me, trying to get a sense of what people might be like. If you're empathic, that's not too hard to do. What they might be doing with their life, etc., right? You just get a general mode of feel of things. You don't stare them down and creep them out, for sure. But that's just getting a sense of your environment. Like Arseny said, observer mode. You kind of cue in. It's a good way to be anyway, especially for ladies, well, guys too, but especially ladies. If you're walking in an environment that might not be so safe because you're aware, and people are less likely to try to harm you or take advantage of you if you're aware of your environment and what's going on. If you're looking down, not paying attention, they may be more likely to target you. Hello, Professional Paranormal Research. Please check out his channel. But you get what I'm saying. There's different ways of being in the world, and there's a million forms of communication. Art is communication. Music is communication. Even when toddlers get angry, that is communication. Because they rather act out and get attention that way if they're not going to get it the other way. They'd rather get negative attention. Shelley said, let me pump it up so I can see. I'm open and guarded. Figure that one out. I can see that, being open and trying to be kind, but being guarded to who you let into your circle. More and more people are kind of that way, I think. It's about protecting your energy, especially if you've been taken advantage of in the past. Oh, not to change the subject. Real quick. Have y'all heard about those things flying over airspace and they're shooting them down more frequently? I'm thinking it's not so much about things being sent from China. My husband and I have been talking about it. It's starting to sound more UFO-y. Unidentified flying objects. And I'm not saying that in a woo-woo thing. I'm just saying. It's starting to sound more UFO-y to me. They were a little too quick to shoot them down lately. I think we've been talking. You know, they have admitted in the last few years, and we know it to be true. It's documented. It is documented that it's been going. Look, let's be real. It's been going on for decades. That's just the truth. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I research what I say. I'm scientific before. I'm scientific and look into things before I say them. Science before spouting things off. I just think we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention. We're going to see more of this. We are not alone in the universe. We are not the only living beings on one planet when there are multitudes of planets in this multi-universes. We would be ignorant to think so. The Creator makes multi-universes, and there are a multitude of planets, and we just happen to be the one lucky planet where there are living beings. Let's think about that for a minute. Professional Paranormal Research says, I don't trust the news. Oh, I made it too big to even see what he said because I got all these black boxes at the bottom. I don't trust the news nor the government. Too many strange occurrences to be all China. Let's be frank here. I trust the news less these days because too many newscasters are opinionated. And they slant the news, and the news is controlled to a large degree to give us what bigger governmental agencies, etc., want us to hear. News used to be more objective and give us everything straight. Straight. They gave us the news straight. Not anymore. Now, what you get on YouTube, you get various and sundry people reporting things, right? And there, you got me, you got other people, etc., that give you what we hear. But ultimately, I may give you information and I may give you a little bit of my opinion. But when I give you information, I have researched what I give you. Ultimately, you have to make up your own mind. You have your own opinion, your own mind at the end of the day. I'm not going to tell you what to think. I'm not going to tell you what to think. You have to make up your own mind. I will give you what I have researched and where I have found facts, and you have to make up your own mind. Okie dokie. And when I give you other information, it's because of my education. So, and by the way, I have to share you my t-shirt that I was given to. I think, I don't know if my daughter gave it to me a long time ago. It says, I am not an act. I'm a motivational speaker. I'll take that. So anyway, keep your eye, because there's been one in Alaska. Why would one from China be in Alaska, of all places? Let's be real. Why in Alaska? That makes 0 sense. That was latest in Alaska. Let's be our own team and pay attention to what's going on here. Back to communication. So let's dig a little deeper here. Do you know that one? We'll go back. Do you know the one word that ruins most relationships is the word but? A lot of people will be in pretty decent relationships and they'll say, but they didn't understand me. They just didn't understand me. Everything was great, but I didn't feel like they understood me. And a lot of times in the relationship, they would have a disagreement. And they would say things like, I get what you're saying, and I appreciate, thank you, all the efforts that you made doing X and Y and Z for me. But if you had only done this, we would have worked out. You did all of these things right, but if you had only done this, it's that but. Right? Yeah, you were right on this and this and this, but you don't understand how this works. It's that but. Because when you throw in that but, you dismiss everything good that you just said. You might as well have not said it. Might as well have not said it. And people don't realize that but's a relationship. I want to say KILLER. It is. It just smashes that relationship down in the ground. We've all been guilty of it at some time or another. It just makes the other person feel not heard. And I don't care if it's a love relationship, a relationship with your child. You did a good job on that test, but that other test, you didn't make an A on it. Or I don't think you tried hard enough. So you just dismissed the effort they put into that other thing. You diminished that person. Little by little by little. Such a small but painful word. Even if they say that it just tells me I'm not good enough, but means forget what I said, leave me alone. But here's the thing. You also have to look at yourself. When you're in a relationship with another person, it's so easy for us to look at that other person and see all the things they did to us. And even if that person was really bad, and oftentimes we have been in bad relationships where the other person did really crappy things. But even in that instance, we have to turn it around and look at ourselves. Even in those circumstances, we have responsibilities in growing and changing. And we have to take the time to look in the mirror and go, all right, I was in this. How have I grown and changed? Where do I need to work on myself? And that's where you go, what kind of a relationship do I have with myself? Because we have a dialogue with ourselves all the time. Every day, all the time. We have internal, hey, Sarah McCluskey, so sweet to have you here. We have internal conversations with ourselves all the time. So my question is, what kind of conversation do you carry on with yourself? What relationship do you have with yourself? We have this inner dialogue. We also have like a spirit guide with ourselves, right? We have an inner conversation that we have with ourselves. What we say about ourselves, what we think about ourselves, what responsibility we take in relationships, right? Do we think we have a responsibility? Do we project responsibility to everybody else? Do we ever take fault in things, or do we take all the fault in things? There has to always be some growth. When something goes awry with me and someone, if I get in an argument or discussion, I don't care if it's with my husband, my daughter, a family member. I don't really have, in general, it's rare I'm ever in conflict with anybody. My mom and I will bicker here and there, but it's rare I have any conflict with anybody ever. There was a YouTube situation a few years ago, but in general, I don't. Which I know you're going to go, oh, Danny, but it's true. But I've learned a lot about communication, and I'm very empathic about people's feelings and how words and things affect people. I'm not saying if I'm driving down the highway and somebody doesn't like how I drive, that person might not yell at me. That's different. But I'm not going to engage and say, you, MF, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm a perfect person either. I don't choose to engage in conflict. Now, mothers and daughters, that's different, but my mom is a hot mess express. She's as spicy as they come. I'm not on the spicy side unless I need to defend someone I love, which thankfully, you know what I'm saying. Sarah says, I sometimes have fights with my brother, just like sibling fights. I will tell him to shut up, or he will tell me to shut up. No, my brother and I, when we were growing up, we would bicker. That's different. You know what I'm saying. I don't invite conflict into my life. No. Life is difficult enough, hey, Spartan Dan, on its own. Don't engage. Don't choose it. That's why communication is so important. People can misunderstand easily if you're not mindful and thoughtful about how you communicate things. Texting can be hell if you're not communicating correctly. Now, I don't do all the real brief texting because I'm not of that generation. I just write. I write a book. I'm always worried people are going to misunderstand. I'm always worried they will misunderstand. Dustin says, life is easy if you go through it with the positive thoughts. Yes. It's like when people try to manifest, they go, if you go, I want, that tells the universe you don't have. You get what you become when you manifest. And you are going to have to overcome certain hurdles as you go. People don't understand that. Hey, Miss Candy Washington. Everybody, please go check out our channel. When you manifest, you get what you become. And there will be hurdles that test you. And just like with communication, you're becoming something, right? You learn as you go. So when you're communicating with someone, you have to be very mindful of the message that you're trying to get through and your body language. If you add on that at the end of a sentence, I don't care how sweet you said it. Well, you know I love you. If I said, well, you know I love you, what is that telling that person? Did I just give them a mixed message? Tell me how that came off. Well, you know I love you. That sounds real aggravated to me. I'm very sensitive to how people give messages, all the nuances. Things don't slip by me real easy. They do not slip by me very easily. And I'm going to tell you, bless their hearts, bless their hearts. The students that I teach communication, especially the ones that come back, they are not going to miss a beat. They're not going to miss a beat when they leave me. Their poor boyfriends, girlfriends, parents, anybody they come upon. I have one girl that has come back into my class, I know 8 times. You know the girl I told you about that would not leave her house? She leaves her house. She explores. She would barely talk to anybody. Girl's in the debate club now. She's in the debate club now. Oh, sending love and blessings to your daughter of healing. Professional Paranormal says, I'm going to say it and I'm going to put it on screen. It's about accepting what's before you and choosing what you're going to do. Complain or be upset or smile and say, I got this, I'm strong, and move on knowing you found inner happiness. Yes. And also, when you're communicating with others, what is your intention when you are communicating with them? What is the outcome you want? What is the outcome? Are you trying to trigger them? Are you trying to run them up the flagpole? Are you trying to make them mad? Or are you truly trying to make a connection and grow with each other, grow from it? So many people think, oh, I'm a good communicator. I'm an adult. I went to college. I know how to do this. They don't. They don't. The way people communicate, they say, the first thing to relationships is communication. And they think they know what they're talking about. They think it just means speaking to each other. Baby, that is not it. Just speaking to each other is not enough. It is the way they are speaking to each other that is the downfall. Is the downfall. They don't get it. They often speak at each other. At. I'm going to talk at you. Not to you or with you. I'm going to talk at you. Which means I don't give you a moment to speak with me. I'm not listening to you and talk at you. Because communication is like a tennis match. And a lot of people will just beat that ball at somebody. Hit that tennis ball at that person. Never giving them an opportunity. And they don't want to hear what they have to say. And if that person is not listening to them and doing what they want, they're going, well, they don't listen to me. They're not being a good partner, friend, mate, whatever. And this one's the one that's beating them with the ball, all of a sudden's not happy. You get what I'm saying? Because there's none of this. And then this one's trying to do everything that's miserable. No communication. There is the breakdown. People aren't getting it. And then you have the dialogue going on in your head. And so many people are talking to themselves in their head and not listening to their higher self. Not listening to their higher self. They're listening to their self, giving themselves negative message. Negative. Then you got the ones with big egos, giving themselves all these big messages and not coming down to earth. They're the ones that are beating the ball at the person, right? But we have to have a personal relationship with ourselves so we keep growing and learning and thriving and overcoming all the hurdles that we think are making our life impossible. How many of you in here have had hurdles that you're going, why does this keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? When you really need to realize the universe is sending things to you to overcome because there are greater things waiting. There are greater things waiting. You get what you become. If you think that you do not deserve, that is what you'll get. That's what will await you. That you don't deserve. Do you get what I'm saying? If you keep on trucking forward, if you keep pushing through, expecting to learn and grow and things to get better, that's what it's a lesson. It's like you're overcoming and growing and moving through lessons. Trust me. Trust me. There were so many major things that have occurred in my life that could have made me just lock it down. So I'm not just sitting here going, oh, I've lived a fairy tale life. Seriously. Trust me when I say it has not been a fairy tale. But I know deeply, deeply within me, there are lessons to come, and I have needed to jump and overcome these hurdles. I'm going to drop the link just in case anybody wants to come up. But it's so important that we go within and go, how could I have done this better? How could I have said this better? How can I be a better communicator? You too, Spartan Dan. I hope your daughter feels better. Thank you for coming by. We need to look at all the ways that we can say what we need to say better, and don't use but. Please don't do but. Don't minimize what people have to say, and take a moment to go, do I listen? Do I listen to what another person has to say? Am I feeling what their message is? Am I giving them the opportunity to get it across? Are we understanding? Are we on the same page? So when you're in a standstill with somebody and they're saying something, you can come across and go, what I hear you saying is, to make sure you're feeling what they're saying. What I hear you saying is that. And they can go, yeah. And you also go, I feel this in a relationship. Never go, when you do this, Because when you do this, and when you do that, people automatically shut down. They stop listening. Because the minute you do that, you point the finger and you're going, when you do this, da 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 da. I don't like it when you ba 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 ba. Because you're pointing the finger, they're going to shut down. You're accusatory, and it's not communicative. Does that make sense? We're all into texting the short messages. We're not really talking anymore. I want to know how many of you actually have real sit down conversations with people anymore, and how much of it is text. I know people rarely write letters anymore. When's the last time you got a love note? You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about sexting. But when's the last time you really had a sit down face to face or face to face and had a real conversation with somebody that's not texting? A heart to heart. I don't want that to go out of style. We cannot lose the art of true person to person communication, or we're going to lose the art of humanity. And there really will be a breakdown in relationships. But you have to have a relationship with yourself first. The lack of ability to get into that space of having a relationship with yourself and learning to communicate better with others is going to cause an increase in the breakdown of relationships. And more people jumping from one relationship to another. That's what I'm afraid of. It's going to be a tick-tock text kind of world of relationships. The short attention span kind of relationships. And that is concerning to me. And I would like to have anybody that watches this in the replay gang give me your thoughts in the comments. Tell me how you feel. Those that know what it's like to have the more heart to heart, face to face kind of talks and relationships, that kind of communication. If you'd like to know more about how to have better communication, let me know. Those that used to write letters or do mixtapes, that's another way of communication. Back in the day, you'd do mixtapes and give it to somebody that you had a crush on or that you love, and they'd play the songs to get a hint of what your feelings were. That is another form of communication. Writing love songs. Poetry. People used to write poetry. It's rare these days. I don't want to see all the different forms of communication that brought about things like art and music, poetry. Brings about all different kinds of, the beautiful things that survive in our world. I don't want them to diminish to 8 seconds of attention span. And the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year marriages. Good. I'm glad that you're reading a lot now, Willow. That's a beautiful thing. And it's good for you. So, on that note, I just really would like to know what you guys think. And remember, the word but is a relationship smasher. Think about that the next time you are in your relationship and you start to use that word, or with your kids even. Listening and being mindfully communicative is so important. And be mindful about your relationship with yourself. The way you talk to yourself, the way you think about yourself, the kind of growth you want from yourself, and the challenges you want. You're so funny, Katrina Johnson. B-U-T, girl. B-U-T. Not the bootay. I guess everybody likes the B-U-T-T. I'm talking about but. Like, I like how you did that, but you could do better at that. But you didn't do this. But I wish you had done that. You know what I mean? Hello, Katrina Johnson. Thank you for coming. Yeah, but hurts our relationships because it diminishes everything you said before the word. It's a relationship smasher. So I just want you to think about this thing. Just like I said, I don't know if you caught it, Katrina. I was telling them you could say, I love you so much. Then you could say, I love you so much, but that huff at the end, you can huff. You can say a million things without saying words. We need to think about how we roll our eyes and breathe. When people breathe certain ways around me, that's all you have to do, and I know. I hears you're beautiful, but you are not beautiful like her. What does that mean, Willow? Oh, you've been watching me quietly? Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody for being here tonight. And I hope what I'm telling you makes some sense. I want people to take a moment and just be thoughtful and mindful about your communication. It was like, we as adults think we all got it together. Willow, you got to be your own cheerleader. It's time. Be your own cheerleader, not your own victimizer. That's the thought that you need to put in your head. You've been beating yourself up long enough. Oh, sending healing energy to you, Katrina. I got to tell y'all real quick. I've got an English bulldog, and he is 10 and a half years old. And their life expectancy is like between 8 and 10. And he's just been laying around a lot lately. So I broke down and decided I'm going to do some healing energy work with him. See how he responds. Let me tell you, next day, boyfriend jumped off the couch, was running around the living room or the family room, playing with the other two dogs, got some dog food, running around, got some water, getting all spicy, went outside. We got to get our pool fixed, but it was running around the pool, going up down the stairs. He was something. He really responded to it, and he was grunting when I was just running my hands over the top of him, not touching him, just over the top of him with healing energy. So it made me feel good that he responded so well. He was eating treats again. So I'm going to keep doing it. I had not done it to him lately, so it just goes to show you that they respond well. Sarah says, my ex Tyler and I are back on. We have no communication problems, just problems getting to meet up. It's just a long distance problem, but that seems to be breaking it down. Good news, Sarah. Maybe you could do FaceTime on Facebook or Instagram or something. I'm happy for you. Willie says, I'm not victimizing myself for anything. I'm just telling you what I've been told by people all my life. Well, you just have to tune them out, Willow, okay? Tune them out and just don't share that message. Tune them out. You know you were loved, okay? Don't give that message any energy. You got me? Don't give that message any energy. Sarah said, I do FaceTime with him on Facebook. Don't give that message any energy. Girl, I know I'm not the biggest beauty queen in the whole world, and I'm not 20 years old anymore, but you know what? I know I'm a good human. I know, Willow, but you just got to shut it down. I got a family member like that. I block it out because I know how they are and who they are. Some people, you are never going to get what you need from them. Do you understand? You're never going to get what you need from that person. So you have to consciously understand that and know that's who they are. That's who they are. Not who you are, not who other people are. That's who they are. And I know it hurts when they say it, but you know that some people are just negative. Shield yourself with a cocoon of white light. It gets easier as you get older. And I'm sorry you had to go through that, but you get what I'm saying. That's why your relationship with yourself is important. It's really important. We all have to build our own relationship with ourselves. Again, we have that dialogue going on all the time. We've got that inner voice and this person out here. So you need to learn to have that relationship with yourself. Kind of can't tune it out. There's this us, and then there's this us. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to learn to communicate and have that relationship with ourselves. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. You all know what I'm talking about. You can be going to the store, driving the car, going. You got that dialogue going on all the time. I love that, Katrina. Yes, that is beautifully said. She said, yes, PW, but you were special and unique as God made you. Do as I do and be good to yourself. Appreciate you as you are. That is absolutely beautiful. I love that. I love that. I have a family member just like that, Willow. But anyway, I hope that I gave some clarity to the communication thing. I hope it makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. Look, this communication thing is huge too much for me to put in a small amount of time. Hopefully, um, YouTube will make it where we can teach classes on it because it is extensive. It's extensive. Did it make sense to people tonight? I hope I wasn't just yammering. But it does start with you. You teach people how to treat you. The relationship starts with you. It is a tennis match with others. It starts with respect. Thank you for that, Katrina. You are right. This message that you're giving Willow is beautiful. What's most important is what you think of yourself. Think positive and be good to yourself and others. It's important to be a good human. And being a good human starts with yourself. And it radiates out to others. Be a good human to yourself. Be a good human to others. Your vibe attracts your tribe. When you're a good human to yourself, that radiates out. It comes out of you. Don't store all the sadness and negativity within yourself. It all radiates out. Be a good human to you, and that light and that energy expand and radiates out and envelops. It envelops other people and draws them to you. And that's how your vibe attracts your tribe. And when you communicate in such a way that you feel and hear and see, truly see a person, they will do it in turn with you. And that is the essence of your vibe attracts your tribe. And it brings the heart of your true partner to you as well. And that's how I got my husband. We hear and see and feel each other. He's my second husband, but let me tell you, we have never, ever gotten in a knockdown, drag out fight. Ever. Ever. And this past November, we've been married 22 years. Never gotten in a knockdown, drag out fight. He has never called me a bad name. Ever. Matter of fact, I've hardly ever heard my name Dana from him. He calls me honey. We might get irritated at each other sometime, but we always listen to each other's opinion. Always. Always. And what each other thinks. Never a day goes by that we don't tell each other we love each other or hug each other, etc. We always listen to what each other has to say. Always. Do we have hard times in our life sometimes? Yes, we do. And easier times. But what I'm telling you is, it starts with, and I still work on myself all the time and trying to learn every day, and trying to learn how to better communicate with different people as well. It's always a process. Every human is a work in process. Willow, you have grown so much since I met you. Period. Your strength comes from within, honey. That's why you get a relationship with yourself again. And that love and that energy and that light comes out. Out. And that's where your strength comes from. Get it? Relationship with yourself and relationship and communication out. That's what I just said, honey. You've done wonderful. So when you learn more about communication too, like these kids I'm teaching, I mean, and the essence of people and how they move and how eyes look and body language, and that it's communication is a dance. It's a dance, and it's respect, and it's listening, and it's feeling when it's real communication. I don't want us to lose real communication, not just texting. But anyway, I'm going to be quiet. So I'm more of a motivational speaker and not just a nagger. But I love you all so, so very much. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you got something out of this. And those in the replay gang, please put your comments below. Let me know what you think. Yeah, and let me know what you think about the whole UFO thing that I think is going on. I don't think it's just Chinese balloons. I think we may be having some UFO experiences. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've had any experiences from using the relationship smasher word, but. You know what I mean? I love to hear your thoughts, and I always reply. So, have a beautiful week, and I shall see you Wednesday night. Thank you, Katrina Johnson. Darling, thank you for coming here. I appreciate all of you so, so much, and I shall see you Wednesday night. It is time to go, and again, I'm sorry I'm delayed. I could not get into this. I could not get into my show to save my life. Don't know what was going on. Maybe it was the aliens. I don't know. But love you, love you, love you. Let's go dancing on out. And I will see you next time. Here we go. Yes, better times are coming. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun.
Feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got